it's Rachel with Liko, and today he and I are going to do an introduction to heeling. Working on these leash manners while he's young is really important because he's still learning, and he's a lot easier to control now than when he gets bigger. He's going to be a big and powerful dog, so it's important that you start working on this now. Now, for the heeling, this is not the kind of thing that you do like when you take him out on a walk to socialize him and to exercise him. There you can give him a bit more leash. He can have more freedom to sniff around, go potty, things like that. It's a bit more on his agenda. The heeling, however, is a bit more controlled, and it's really handy like if you're taking him into the vet for a checkup, and there are lots of other dogs around that might be sick or something like that. You want to have him heel close by you, sit next to you whenever you stop, so that he is close and in control and is sitting calmly next to you, like when you're at the desk checking in or something like that. Also, if you take him like to Petco for an outing, in a narrow aisle with other dogs, it really helps to get by if you have him in control nice and close to you. So, the basics of heeling is you work on one side. It's usually the left side, so that's what I'm going to be working on with him. And he's always sitting when I'm stopped. Then when we're walking, he's right by my side, paying attention to my turns and my speeds, and we sit again when we stop. Since he is still young, he gets distracted super easily, and all of that, it's important to really command his attention, and the heel helps by telling him, giving him something to do so that he is focusing on you and not getting distracted with other things. So Liko, come here. Come here. Okay. Sit. Sit. Good boy, sit. Good boy. Okay, so this is how we start out. A sit on the left side just like this, and we're going to continue. Now, no. Now I'm going to lead with my left leg since it's the leg that's closest to him. I'm going to give, my leg a pat as I'm moving forward and say heel. Heel. No, heel. Heel. Good boy. Sit. Good boy, heel. Good boy, heel. Good job. Good job, Liko. Okay, that was really good. He is still super excited and kind of pulling. So when he pulls, I'm just turning left and turning into him. So that I'm kind of invading his space, getting in his way. So I get in front of him and he has to pay more attention to me. So, Liko, sit. Good boy, sit. Heel. Heel. Good heel. Good boy, heel. Good boy. That was very good. He sat on his own without me having to tell him to do it, which is excellent. Good boy, heel. Good boy. Heel. Heel. Good heel. Heel. Good boy, heel. No. Good boy, heel. No, good boy. Good boy. Okay. So, he's doing really well considering his age and how excited he is. What I'm going to try this time is I'm going to try baiting him with a treat. Sometimes it helps dogs focus because they're super focused on the treat. Sometimes adding food in the mix gets them a little bit too excited. So we'll experiment with the treat and see how he does. Liko. on it that I could keep it up on my chest. The only problem was the jumping, but I just offered him a correction noise every time that he jumped up, which is an ah or ah. It's kind of sharp, catches their attention. Off. And, you know, he's jumping up, but he's not jumping on me, which is good. So I'm going to practice with the treat a little bit more, see if we can get him to jump a little bit less, because he had really great focus. I love that he was looking up for me for the heel, and he also wasn't getting in front of me too much, which is good. Good boy, heel, Liko. Heel. Good heel, good boy. Good boy, heel, Liko. Yes. Good job. Good job. Okay, that was really great. So, after he had a taste of the treat a little bit, he wasn't quite as desperate to get it, so the jumping was better, which is what we want to see. That's really good. And I really like his focus with the treat, so I would recommend using a treat when you practice this with him at home, and also having a few treats handy if you are going to practice heeling when you take him out. Now, a tip about the treats, use something small and soft so he can chew it easily. You don't want to use like crunchy treats or something too big that he really has to sit and chew. When you give it to him, you want to give him something that's just easy to taste and swallow really quick, so it doesn't take away from the training. You don't have to wait for him to finish eating it. You can just toss him one and continue right away. So as you can see, my treats are super tiny, and they are just big enough. Off, Liko, off, sit. Good boy. They're about this big, and they are nice and soft, so he's able to eat it quickly, and we don't off, Liko. We don't have to stop our training while he eats it. So let's practice some a little bit more. Good heel. Good heel, Liko. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Oh, here we are. All right, that was really good. So he definitely does better if you're holding the treat up to your chest versus baiting him directly. He jumps too much off if it's down there. And he had really good attention span, so that's really good. And as you can see, he is jumping less and less. So I think this is definitely the way to go. He's doing a beautiful heel with the treat, and it kind of helps him focus a bit. Nice and close to the side. He's sitting nice and close to me. The only thing about the treat that I want you to watch out for, so that you don't let him practice a bad habit, is since he's not getting it as we're going on, we're walking for a while and he's not getting the treat, he wants to sit. So he kind of wants to stop and sit until he gets it. And so you'll notice, like, I'll have to pull him up a little bit more and tell him to heel. There, just reinforce the heel command. You can bring the treat down from your chest, kind of show him, and put it back up on your chest just until he gets up to your side. Now, I think he's doing this because usually the first thing that we teach our dog is sit. And before we feed them, before we give them a treat, to make them work for it a little bit, we have them sit. So I think he is used to the idea that he's only going to get food if he sits. So if we're walking in a heel and he's not getting it, he's going to want to sit until he does get it. So he's like, well, this isn't working, so I'm going to sit so I get my treat. So don't let him get away with that. And, you know, it works well when we stop because then he automatically sits. I don't have to ask him, which is perfect. However, if you're going to give him treats just because at home, maybe don't give him the food right after he sits. Make him lay down or roll over or come. Make him do something a little bit more so that he doesn't see food and think that sitting is the way to go. And so it doesn't make him insistent on sitting whenever there is food involved. Okay, this was Rachel and Liko, and we are working on healing.